Hi everyone, these are your mentors Ayana and Leslie. Welcome to the 10th week of your semester. We are so proud of you for your efforts and your dedication to make it this far under the current circumstances. We want you to keep up the great work, and we are so excited to provide you with 10 tips to help you plan your schedules for the next semester and make sure you've got everything squared away and taken care of before the registration period begins at the end of the month. So let's jump right into the presentation. Tip number 1 is to meet with your advisor for course selections and to enroll early. You must meet with your advisors to be advised on what classes to take next semester. We also want you to keep in mind that classes do fill up very quickly, so the earlier you enroll, the better. With all that's going on, you're probably wondering how advisement appointments are being carried out. We want you to know that as an alternative to in-person appointments, advisors have begun to utilize platforms such as Google Voice and Zoom to give you that one-on-one assistance via phone calls, texting, and even video calling. If you have not been in contact with your advisors since the distance learning has gone into effect, please reach out to them through email and ask them how they'll be conducting their advisement appointments going forward. We also want you to become familiar with the pathway sheet and review your academic plan. What this will do is help you become aware of your major requirements and give you a better idea of what classes to take and when to take them. Tip number 2 is to make sure that you have the correct major/plan on file. If you're unaware of whether you have the correct major on file, you can check your CUNY First account under the My Academics tab. You can check your degree works, your student unofficial transcript, or you can ask your academic advisors to find out for you. If you find that you have the incorrect major on file, you can fix this by submitting a change of plan and subplan form to the registrar's office. This form can be found on the BCC website under the Academics tab. You would scroll down to Academic Resources, click on Registrar, and there you would see options for change of information forms. Once you have this form submitted, your degree works will be updated accordingly. Having the correct major on file is extremely important because it will help you avoid problems with your class selection and financial aid. For those of you who are unaware, financial aid will not cover the cost of classes that do not count towards your major. So to recap, make sure you have the correct major on file, and if you do not, try to get it corrected as soon as possible by submitting a change.
In your student center. Once you're in your student center, you can check your financial aid. You can also check your to-do list and the holds if you have any holds on your account. If you scroll down on your student center under the finances tab, you click view financial aid so that you can check your financial aid status for the year, or if any additional documentation is needed for your financial aid. And in the top right hand corner of your CUNY First account, you'll see a little box that says holds, and that will contain all the holds if you have any holds. Some of the holds you may have can be BUR holds, which are Bursar holds. They can be AAA holds, which are academic advising holds if you haven't seen your advisor. ADM holds, which is admissions, which could mean that you did not bring in your transcript from high school. If you're an ASAP student, you can also have an ASAP hold, or you can have an immunization hold, which would be IMM, and all those holds will be located in that little box. If you do have any holds, you need to resolve them as soon as possible because they will keep you from registering. You will not be able to register for any of your classes if you have any holds on your account. Also, make sure that if you have not filed your FAFSA, that you file your FAFSA for the academic year to fall 2020 to spring 2021. For assistance with any of these holds, you can meet with your academic advisor, and for any assistance with financial aid, you can visit the financial aid office, which is in Colston Hall, room 504, or you can call them. The fourth tip is to check your enrollment dates. Your enrollment dates can be found on your CUNY First account. Once again, you go into your student center, you scroll down on your right hand side, there's a little box that says enrollment dates, which will have your specific enrollment date there. The system will not allow you to enroll in your classes until that specific date. So you can try to enroll before that, and the system will not allow you. However, you can pick your classes, so you can pick whatever classes you need. You can build your schedule and have your schedule in the shopping cart and wait until your enrollment date. And then once your enrollment date comes, you just click enroll, and then you'll have your classes there. Different categories of students have different enrollment dates. So, for example, college discovery students are able to enroll earlier than the students that are not part of the college discovery program.
Tip number 5 is to be aware of prerequisites and co-requisites. Beginning with prerequisites, you want to pay very close attention to these, especially when it comes to your major. These are required courses that you must take and pass in order to move on to the other courses for your major. For instance, if you are a biology major and you want to take Bio 12, 55, 56, or any other biology course that you may need, you must first take and pass Bio 11. With co-requisites, on the other hand, you can take those required courses in the same semester. For instance, if you're a psych major and you need to take Psychology 11, but you haven't yet taken English 02 or RDL 02, you can take these courses in the same semester and earn those credits at the same time. If you need further assistance with understanding pre- and co-requisites, this is something that you can talk with your academic advisors about during your advisement appointments. You can sit down with your pathway sheet and ask them to help you identify the pre- and co-requisites and help you get a better understanding of when to take these courses.
Tip number 6 is summer and winter courses. You don't have to take classes only in the fall and the spring semesters. You can also take classes during the summer and the winter semesters. Students who explore the summer and the winter courses tend to graduate at a faster rate. You accelerate your graduation time. If you're interested in taking summer or winter courses, you want to discuss that with your advisor. You also want to go to the financial aid office to make sure that whatever class you want to take during the summer and the winter semester is covered by your financial aid, as well as checking your BCC email regularly, because BCC does offer some free summer and winter courses, and they usually send all that information out through BCC broadcasts, which go directly into your BCC email. So talk to your advisor, check your email, and check with the financial aid office if you are interested in taking any summer or winter courses. Tip number 7 is special course sections. When registering for classes, you'll find that there are many different course sections. We have broken them all down here on this PowerPoint to make it easier for you all to understand. The first one is writing intensive. As a student, you are required to take 2 writing intensives in order to graduate 2 writing intensive courses. The example of how that would look when you're registering would be, for example, if you're registering for an Art 11 class, it'll say Art 11, DO5 would be the section, and then the W at the end would indicate that that class is a writing intensive course. Writing intensive courses have a certain amount of pages that you're required to write, and it's just focused on basically making you a better writer. Next are honor courses. Honor courses are identified with the H at the end of the section number. So instead of DO5W, it would be DO5H to indicate that it is an honors course. In order to take an honors course, there is a GPA requirement. It is a 3.0, and since all of you don't have a GPA as of yet, because you're all first semester freshmen, you wouldn't be able to register for an honors course until your GPA has been posted. Next is hybrid courses. Hybrid courses mean that there is a certain percentage of the class that is online. So, for example, if you register for hybrid class that meets Tuesdays and Thursdays, what can end up happening is you'll meet in class on Tuesdays, but on Thursdays, class will be completely online. So that is how hybrid classes work. and they're identified either with a D or an E at the end of the section number. The E would be if the hybrid course is a writing intensive. The next one is online courses. Those courses are 100% online. You don't meet on campus. It is strictly all online, and that course also identifies with either a D or an E at the end as well. When registering for your classes, there's a section that says instruction mode. So you check your classes there, and it would either say fully online, it'll say hybrid, or it'll say in person. So that is a way that you can tell apart hybrid and online courses. The last section is web enhanced sections, which means basically that the class will utilize more Blackboard for the class. So you'll have maybe your work due on Blackboard, or you'll submit like your midterms and your finals on Blackboard and things like that. Be mindful and be aware of what these special course sections all mean. I know that it's a lot, but that's why we broke it down in the PowerPoint, so that you all can understand what it means, so that you know what classes you're registering for when you pick your classes. Also, all of your course sections will have either a D or an E in front of it. What that means is if you register for a class that has a D in front of the section number, it means that the class is in the daytime, and if it has an E in front of the section number, that means that it is an evening class. So be mindful of that as well. Tip number 8 is to create a realistic and balanced schedule. When creating your schedule, you want to think about your life outside of school as well as your life inside of school. So you want to create your schedule around your work schedule. If you have other commitments, for example, if you have a child, you want to take all of those things into consideration when making your class schedule for next semester. For example, if you have a child that gets out of school at 2 p.m. and you have to go pick them up, and you don't want to register for a 2 p.m. class because you know you won't be able to make it. Throughout this first semester, you should have been getting to know yourself better, so you should know whether you're a morning person or an early afternoon person or an evening person, so that way you know when it would be best for you to take your classes. For example, I can't take any classes before, let's say, 10:30 a.m. because I'm just not there. I'm not awake. I'm not present in the classroom. And I know that about myself. So I cannot register for any classes that start before 10 a.m. So you should know yourself and know when you want to and can take classes. You also don't want to overburn yourself with taking too many classes. You don't want to take 3 classes a day because that can become very overwhelming, especially if you have 1 3-hour class. You want to space out your classes because you want to be present for each class and absorb as much information as possible. I know that when I have more than 3 classes, if I don't have a break in between so that I can eat and drink water and take a break and just unwind and relax, even if it's 10, 15, or 20 minutes, I'm just not going to be as focused as I would be. So keep all of these things in mind when making your schedule, when creating your schedule. Be realistic and keep it as balanced as possible so that you can have a good schedule for you and your lifestyle, and it makes it easier for you to actually go to class and be productive and present and learn. Tip number 9 is do your research. No one will know what's better for you than you. You can ask if you like the professors that teach your class now. For example, if you have a Math 5 professor and you like the way they teach, you can ask that same professor if they teach Math 23 and if they'll be teaching it next semester. That way you can register for that class because you like the teaching style of the professor, or maybe you and the professor already have that professor student connection that you're supposed to be building throughout this semester, which will make it easier for you to transfer it on to next semester in your second class together. Other ways of doing your research is reading class descriptions on CUNY First. When you go to register for classes, there's always a description of the classes. You click on the class description and it should have an outline of how the class is supposed to go, what the class is supposed to be about, so that you can more or less have an understanding of what the class will contain for the next semester. You can also ask other BCC students around about any classes that they have taken. Maybe they have taken classes that you need to take, and they can recommend some professors that they liked, and they can tell you different teaching styles of that professor, and that way maybe you can see, if you, based off of what the student says, if you like the way that professor might teach the class. The registration process and doing your own research is part of the independence that you have as a college student, because you take control of your own learning and your learning experience. You choose your own classes, you choose the professors, you choose the type of classes that you want to be in, you choose your own schedule. There's a lot of independence in being in college. It's a lot of responsibility, so you want to take it very seriously, because it is very powerful. You have the power over your education, basically.
The 10th and final tip that we have for you all is to check your BCC emails regularly. Now, I'm sure you've heard your mentor say this in every IFIS presentation from the very beginning of the semester, but we're going to continue to stress the importance of this because it's extremely beneficial for you all as students. In a time like this where we're not meeting face-to-face, your professors may be sending out important course updates and materials to your BCC emails, and if you're not keeping an eye on your inboxes, you could miss out on time-sensitive information. A tip that we like to give students is to download the Outlook apps to your phone, your iPad, your laptop, so that your emails will pop up as notifications rather than you having to sign into the website to check your inboxes. This is also important during the registration period because you'll be receiving information about new and interesting courses that may be available. You may be learning of free courses that could be offered during the summer semester. And once you enroll for your classes, if your class section happens to be canceled before the semester starts, you'll be notified of that as well through your BCC email. So it's important to check it as much as possible. You could also receive important information about scholarship opportunities, study abroad opportunities, and job openings on campus. These kinds of things can come up as BCC broadcasts, so it's important that you guys not disregard those as well. You always want to open it and at least scan it to see if the information could be valuable to you. And lastly, we want you all to check your spam and clutter inboxes to make sure that your important emails are not being automatically filtered into those boxes. Alright everyone, so those were our 10 tips for helping you plan your schedule for next semester and making sure you've got everything set into place before those registration periods open. Keep in mind that this information is going to be beneficial not just for this semester, but for the future semesters to come, so we do hope that all of this information has resonated with you. If you have any questions about anything in this presentation, if you have any trouble accessing anything, please do not hesitate to reach out to your peer mentors for assistance. We are always here for you. You can reach out to us by email, by phone, or any other way that your specific peer mentor has specified for you to contact them. We are also happy to help you when it comes time to register for your classes. Of course, this will be after you've met with your academic advisor to decide which classes you need to take for the next semester. We're happy to help you build a schedule that works best for you and assist you with putting those classes into your shopping carts on CUNY First and getting enrolled. Continue to put your best foot forward, finish out the semester strong, and please do not hesitate to reach out for any assistance.